Okay, so we are in Daugavpils in Latvia, and Udaram Prabhu is here with us on Zoom, but we are within a few meters of each other, upstairs and downstairs in the house here, in the house of Braja Krishna Prabhu, very kindly hosting us. All right, so dear devotees, let us begin with an auspicious invocation, and then we shall greet you all, but already greeting you by heart, each one. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Param Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangscha Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jaina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvije Namaha. Hare Krishna. And I am surprisingly warm. I have to take off the scarf. Please excuse me. I'm accustomed to having a shower and being cold, a little bit cold afterwards. But here we are, being nicely looked after with a warm, warm room here. All right, dear devotees. I probably won't be able to be on Facebook at this time. However, to all of the devotees on Facebook, devotees who are seeing the recorded version, and of course here, those of us who are on Zoom who I can see, then happily we're here together with our family to remember some of the basics of Krishna consciousness. So basics means we need always our foundation, and our foundation is the holy name and association with devotees. So guidance is needed everywhere. Whatever we do in this world, we need guidance, and we've got abundant guidance coming from the teachings of Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rockop Sridhadev Goswami Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who are bringing us Bhagavan, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and our whole Rupa Nuga Sampradaya. So yesterday, coming to this remote corner of the world, in the far east side of Latvia, we came on the train, and trains, cars, they're good places to be with devotees, because devotees always like to talk and say things. And we were discussing and revising one very small book, which, well, there's also a big version of the book, but a very small book, which is so important to us. Let us not forget Sri Upadesamritam. And so we were on a 3-hour train journey, and we just covered a corner of Upadesamritam. But this Upadesamritam means, in Srila Prabhupada's publications, it was given the title Nectar of Instruction. Upadesh is guidance, instruction. Amrita. What is Amrita? Does anybody know? Nobody knows. Are these thumbnails, or are you actually moving? Nod your head if you know. What is Amrita?
Is it nectar, Maharaj?
Okay, that will do, Seva. There's no one word, there's no one expression, because we're always told these things we don't really have words to describe them. But Amrita, yes, Rajasundari Devirasi, welcome. So Amrita is nectar, sweetness, what we're all looking for. The taste which is going to be the taste of all tastes. So sweet nectar, honey, honey-like. Immortality also, because we hear that the part at the front negates the temporary, so the opposite of temporary, which is eternal nectar, Amrita. So Upadesh, Amrita. It's not just a fancy title to sell some fashion wear in Milano, in streets of fashion streets of Milan, to come up with some catchphrase. It's the actual nectar of instruction, giving guidance, which is going to take us to the land of nectar. So anyhow, Upadeshamritam, it is always good to revise. And now everyone's getting nervous, thinking, I'm going to be asked, what are the six this? What are the six senses to control? Think about it. Have we remembered? And are we doing it? What are the six things which will destroy, harm our devotional life? And are we doing it, or are we not doing it? Are we following that Upadesh, or are we not following that Upadesh? Are we following that guidance or not? And then the six things which will ensure the success of our devotional life is in the next verse. And are we doing it or not? So we must be careful about all these points. And then we've got the six ways of loving, development of love between the devotees. And that's not the temporary love of I love a painting, I'm in a house with paintings. Can you see? Some paintings. I'm in a house with paintings. Oops. Do we love a painting or this, that, and the other? But rather the loving relationship between the devotees. So that verse 4 is the six items which are going to be helpful, which will produce love. It's not, oh, maybe, but they are the six ways in particular of developing affection between the devotees. And then we've got the three ways, so these are all sixes. Then we have the three ways of giving honor to those who chant the holy name, those who have faith in the holy name and who chant. How we give honor to them and how we interact with them. And then verse 6 comes, which is the second group of three, because the second group of three verses are all to do with the devotees. Verse 6 comes to not seeing faults in devotees. And this ties so closely into Srila Gurudev's super stressed verse of Mahaprabhu, of humility, tolerance, giving honor to others without wanting honor for oneself. So not to see the faults in anybody. We are not the judge of others, but to see the faults in ourselves. So number 6 is emphasizing that the Vaishnavas are all purifying, like the Ganges water. So don't worry about mud and foam which come in the Vaishnavas. No, mud and foam that come in the Ganges water. The analogy is given to help us to understand that it is inevitable. We're in the material world and we are swimming in the ocean of fault. And so we're going to get some of that ocean covered, apparently in the bodies of anybody's body. Hare Krishna. And then the sweetness of the holy name. It is our medicine, it is sweet. And a great wonder, if we take the medicine day by day, then gradually our disease will be cured. And instead of thinking, oh, it's hard work to take the holy name, or why should I take the holy name, or making ourselves do it. Instead of that, we'll find that the medicine really has come to cure, and we'll want to chant the holy name. It'll become tasty, relishable, and then taste upon taste upon taste. And then, so that's the 7, and then 8 is the essence of all advice is 26 hours a day to chant the holy name of the Lord, to chant his glories, to be engaged in our life in the glorification service of the Lord and his holy name. Hare Krishna, through remembrance, through chanting, through serving, through all the processes of devotion. And then we leave 9, 10, and 11 as this the description of the devotees, of the devotees of the places, and of the highest devotee, the highest place in the spiritual realm, and taking us all the way to Srimati Radharani, so confidential, but yet given to us openly by Mahaprabhu, given to us openly by Rupa Sanatan, by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Openly, with caution, but openly. The name is not hidden, the personality is not hidden, the environment is not hidden. And so we are getting a little glimpse of that exists there, but don't go there now with your mind and with your thinking to think too much. We need to now keep our conduct proper so we may be able to clearly understand the higher subject matters. But still those last 3 verses are there to show us gradation and then the acme, the peak of everything, of everything, of everything. And this is also classic Guru Maharaj. This is Rupa Goswami. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, giving us not just a generic idea of goodness or a generic idea of, yes, chant the holy name and this general peace of mind will come, but they're giving us the whole story from beginning to end. So anyway, it was very good, happy discussion on the train with the sweet devotees. Hare Krishna. Aha. And we are also in Latvia with Chintamani Devidas, who just joined us. But she's part of our tail coming to Durga Pills because she's following on Guru Maharaj. Srila Gurudev used to say, we have a heavy tail when all the devotees arrive for festivals. Then it's always those who are coming just after the main group have come, but they'll be there. So Chintamani is fulfilling our tail part, that she's be arriving here, I think today, maybe on the way now, I don't know. Chintamani, are you on your way? Are you walking to the train station? Okay, she can't hear us just yet.
Dandavat Maharaj. Excuse me. Yes, I'll be there. I will be coming. I'll be taking the train about 7:30. I'll board the train, and Udaran Prabhu has given me all the information how to find my way to you guys. I'm so excited to go and chant Hare Krishna with the devotees on the street. It's my favorite thing.
We're waiting for you. In the meantime, we're going to have Mangalati and all the programs here. So we'll see you soon, and we'll see Udaran Prabhu in a few moments because he's just downstairs. And Udaran Prabhu, I would like you to say a few words because actually Udaran Prabhu gets the prize for the quietest on the train yesterday, not out of his desire, but he was sitting with 3 babushkas on the train with a babushka. If you don't know that, elderly ladies. And so he was in a little separate area from where we were making all the noise on the train. So Udaran Prabhu, we can invite you just now to give a little introduction to whatever you like, but following the theme of Upadesamritam and or of where we are and what we're doing in Latvia.
Yes, so at all. Maybe I'm not a really good person who can speak about Upadesamritam, but I can say that we're all very happy that you came and that Mahanananda Prabhu and all the devotees who came with us, who came with you to us. We are very happy to be with you, with our family. And this is very auspicious days for us to host you and all the devotees. So what can I say more? It's when you are working every day, you don't feel like you need this really strongly. But when you meet the devotees, this happiness came in your heart, and you feel this, how can we live without a family, without our family devotees? And well, so thank you that you arrived. Thank for Mohanananda Prabhu who bring you here, and hopefully today will be one more happy day with our family.
Every day is a festival in Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat. And happily in your association, Udaran Prabhu, and you are taking care of so many of the aspects of this sudden visit. For me, it was very sudden. I didn't know I was coming until I was coming. In other words, was it like 1 week before? I had no idea it was even on the cards. And then here we are, we're suddenly here. And also shows that at least in Europe, you can go many places for a long weekend, because that's, I'm here. We left on Friday afternoon and returning on Tuesday. So it's a long weekend. And so Europe is quite reachable in different places. And so we hope devotees will also come to Vila Govinda and come to other centers where you're happy and at home, to have some variety, to meet all the devotees, because devotees really are our life and soul. And have you learned anything in the last couple of days, Udara Prabhu?
I always remind me that Vaishnavas are all for me, and I'm very happy to serve if I have such opportunity, because it brings us happiness, and this is happy life, actually, to be together and to serve, to do something for everyone, that everyone would be happy. So this is healthy life. Yeah. That's what I am learning every day with you, with every Vaishnavas.
Udaran Prabhu, you would have been very at home at Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat in the time of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, and especially the festival times, the times when we have so much preparation, looking after every devotee who comes. We happily looking after. It's not a duty. It's not something we have to do. I mean, okay, maybe we have to do, but it's not something which is like toiling. Toiling means like hard work. It's just natural. And then the devotees coming, and with Gurudev there, and earlier with Guru Maharaj there. Then, of course, the whole purpose of everyone's visit to Navadip was to come and have association, come and hear, and coming together as a team also, because everybody who comes does something in the mat. And that's how festivals worked. It wasn't one person, one cook, one cleaner, one distributor, one person doing decorations, one person doing anything. It was a team activity. And actually, Mohanananda Prabhu, who's really brought the devotees together on this occasion here, he's quite the dynamo for organizing tours. And he is the one, after all, that got Srila Gurudev's first tour running, got Srila Gurudev out from India. And he's got some energy, and he's got that enthusiasm to serve in many ways. But one is, he does like to organize things and have us tell us that we're going to Latvia, tell us that we're going like this. But with Gurudev, he would be the decision maker for many things, and not just the decision maker, but he would help Gurudev to understand the practical ways, especially the first world tour, because it was the first time Gurudev had come out from India, and there were lots of things completely new from Navadip and from Vrindavan. And when I came out from India after being there so long, actually, some things, even though we knew about them in the past, I mean, they weren't unknown to us. Then again, quite extraordinary. I mean, different. Hot water coming out of the tap, and how to use these modern showers. And I even one of the time on one of the first places we're going, I couldn't find how to let the water out of the sink. I mean, this is just ABC, practical things of living. But then, it has a little lever hidden behind the tap that you push down, and then the plug comes up. I mean, even the smallest things, which everyone takes for granted normally. And I still can't use a washing machine, so I never do. Just use a bucket of water. Every washing machine's different. So anyway, and why do we need a washing machine? Let's be realistic. From Upadesamritam to doing our laundry and emptying a sink. Oh dear. But by the way, on the theme of being with devotees, we were 8 devotees who were on the flight, and by now we've got more devotees. So we have quite a lot of devotees who've come to Braja Krishna Bhuvan and Indumati's home. And how joyful they were yesterday when their home was basically overrun by noisy Hare Krishnas in the evening. And we got here, must have been after 8 p.m. anyway, because we did an evening program, public program. And again, a sweet program in a quiet, very quiet part of the world. Just look on a map and see if you can find where's Resegne. It doesn't roll off people's tongues like New York and Los Angeles and London. We have to search out on the map, and these are quiet places. And now we're in Daugava Hills, which is also very quiet. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we visited or revisited as just a micro reminder about Upadesamritam, the book Nectar of Instruction by Srila Prabhupada. That's his translation. But its importance, it is, again, not a book we just read once and put on the shelf. It's a book to live by. It's, in a very short way, the guidance of our life for a successful life. And without guidance, we are just floating around, playing, dreaming, or being caught in one way, taken by somebody's good idea about, this kind of yoga, somebody's good idea about this kind of meditation, somebody's good idea about this kind of food, somebody's good idea about all sorts of things. And there can be many good ideas with good intention. But if we can sincerely pray to the Lord for proper shelter, proper guidance, where can I actually know I'm getting the proper guidance, not something that's being manufactured or something temporary, then if we pray to the Lord for that and we come across it, then we really should take that treasure. We should really have the treasure map. Have that treasure map that's been given to us. Here's the treasure. It's buried over here. And here's where you are. And sometimes when we go to a park in a city or something, they have a map of, here's the lake, here's the cafe, here's this area, the children's playing area, this is like sightseeing area. Then where you are, usually very often people are pointing, oh, this is where we are. So they're touching the map, and very often it gets worn out. And then we see, like, everybody knows where we are in one sense, but where are we to go? So the treasure map, those of you who were pirates in your younger days, the treasure map of where all the gems from the gallery and the galley is, the wooden ships were called galleys. The pirates come and they raid the ships, but then they hide the treasure, because obviously the government people are going to come and try and catch them. And they're going to sit innocently saying, no, it wasn't us. Look, no treasure, you can't find any treasure. So they hide the treasure somewhere on an island, a deserted island. And then there's a secret map. And then if somebody gives you that secret map, then you can wear out the map of where we are. Okay, how many times are we going to say where we are? Birth, death, old age, disease, the temporary world, suffering, action and reaction, forgetfulness of the Lord, all these things. That's where we are. You are here. Okay, but the treasure, where's that buried? And then once we know where that treasure is, then how to reach it. Hare Krishna. Yes, Hare Krishna. You see? To reach it is happy. We have to get that subtle key, what we think is very subtle. It's our dear friend. The subtle key, the holy name with service attitude. And the holy name that's descending will be so greatly beneficial for us with the service connection, the holy name with service attitude. And when we can come across the holy name with service connection, where we understand we're being accepted from above, then all good things will happen, should happen. But if we are a lazy pirate, if we're a lazy pirate to go and get the treasure, then if you snooze, you lose. There's some expression like this. So the lazy pirate, he may have to have more trouble to go to his destination. But the enthusiastic pirate, who is confident, who is patient, who follows the good guidance given of how to get the treasure, and who leaves aside all those who are like trying to drag him. No, you come here. Why go to that place for the treasure? You come here in our village. It's very beautiful. You can rest here forever. And so this is, give up those who are trying to make us into lazy searchers for the treasure, lazy pirates. And to follow in the footsteps. Somebody, I know this previous man, he went there for the treasure and he got the treasure. I know this map, it's got his footprints on it. I see his footprints in the mud sometimes, or in the stone, the footprints. Sometimes we go and worship the footprints of Mahaprabhu in stone. Hare Krishna. Anyway, If a pirate can be enthusiastic, confident, patient, can follow the process to get there, can give up those who are misleading him from the journey, and can follow in the footsteps of those who've gone to the treasure before. That's for just mundane things like diamonds and gold. Just mundane things. And billions of dollars. Just mundane things. If they will be enthusiastic for that, why not us be enthusiastic for Krishna's treasure, the treasure of Krishna? And so that's why this treasure map, all of this guidance has come with the map. It's the Upadesamritam. The teachings of immortality, teachings of nectar, teachings of nectarian immortality. Hare Krishna. And I see 2 chats in the chat box. Click. Oh, more than 2. Dana, Hare Krishna. Yes, Dana, Hare Krishna. Chintamani Dandavas. Chintamani, boarding the train at 7:30, arriving 11-ish. Chintamani at Namapriyas. Okay. She's at Namapriyas and she's on her way here, I think. So the last 2 messages, if they came in the other way around, then we'll see. Yes, she's at Namapriyas and joining coming onto the train soon. Hare Krishna. Okay, any question from anyone? I checked also from last time. Was there a leftover question from last time, from Thursday? No?
Dandavat Maharaj, I have a logistic question to ask you and Udaran Prabhu.
Okay, well, Udaran Prabhu is probably the one to ask. He's
Okay.
got the treasure map of where are the devotees.
Well, I have a question. Will I be able, because I know the train ride's like at least 3.5 hours or whatever, or 3 hours-ish. Will I be able to, like, if I bring my laptop to do some seva, will I be able to drop it off somewhere before we all go in Harinam, or am I going directly from train station to meet the devotees to go chanting? Question.
Udaran Prabhu. If
So
anybody else can answer this, you're welcome to.
So our
I think
plan,
the fittest person is Udaran Prabhu.
our plan was to pick up you in the train station, then we'll together would come to Braja Krishna's house, and then at 12 o'clock we will make a Harinam Sankirtan. So that was the plan.
Okay, great. So I can store some stuff there then. That's okay. Before.
Yeah.
I like to go with little things that's possible out with chanting so I can dance. Hare Krishna. Dandavat. Thank you.
And I can bring that little flat backpack and I can take your computer because I won't be dancing as jumpily as you, Chintamani Didi. So don't worry, somebody will look after your backpack. Your computer, rather.
And after Harinam, what's the plan?
Prashadam.
Yes, correct. Then Prasadam, and at 3 o'clock will be Latvian Zoom. So please, everyone can join us. 3 o'clock Latvian time. Yeah, so please, everyone can join us in a Zoom. And yeah, after maybe some walk and talk and evening program, evening Gaura Arati.
Jai. So this is prediction for the future, the very near future today. So good to know. And Narottam Nitai Prabhu has a question in the chat box. How to develop patience? My understanding is that determination is a combination of enthusiasm and patience. Hare Krishna. Determination, enthusiasm, and patience. Yes, and determination implies focus. Someone who's determined, they'll be very focused. And putting into practice we don't want to say children, we were also children, and we still are children in the view of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, spiritually speaking. But we see children, I'm thinking of some life experience, they may be very enthusiastic to do something, but they really don't put it into practice. Yes, I'll do it. But then once you give them, the toy, the bicycle, whatever it is, oh yes, I want to go. And then once they're going, if we, for instance, go for a cycle ride with a young child, then don't leave me behind, I want to go. So they're very enthusiastic to go. But once they're going, then after a little while, oh no, she's too tired, I want to go back, I can't go back alone, take me back. So enthusiasm needs to be put into practice. So it's not only that determination is quite the enthusiasm and patience, it's the doing, and then the staying power. And tolerating, this word tolerance, that always comes up. Anyway, Narottam Thakur, maybe somebody else can comment. Sometimes when we dissect things, we kind of lose the essence of the thing. And the essence is that we have a wonderful path. We should be enthusiastic to do and keep going. And the patience part is that we need to be patient, that, as Guru Maharaj says, this is not a cheap thing to be devoured very quickly. It is our ever life journey. It's our ever life activity. And it is nourishing, beautiful, sweet, and it's the nature of life. Like Udaran Prabhu was saying, to serve the devotees, to be with the devotees, to somehow help the devotees is just a natural feeling of, yes, this is what we're meant to do. It's not even, it's again us analyzing. It's just a feeling, this is the right thing to do. And interestingly, the conclusion of the scriptures is, it's the right thing to be a devotee. So we're in good company. If we get a little glimpse, it's the right thing to do. We're in the company of the greatest sages. So enthusiasm, patience, and confidence comes straight in there too. Confident, we are doing the right thing. I'm going in the right direction. I'm not wavering that, oh, maybe I'm going the wrong way. Maybe this, maybe that, maybe the bridge will be broken down later on. I won't be able to cross the river. Somebody who's setting out to do something, they'll cross every obstacle. And if there's a broken bridge, they'll build the bridge. On a journey, people will do that. If ever you want to cross through the Congo, Zaire in Africa, you may find you'll have to do things like this yourself. But you don't go half-heartedly. You know you're going to get to the end. Do or die. Last week was burning our boat, wasn't it? Some example that we'll go to a country, the army, army always sounds very aggressive, but You know, the idea that if one nation wants to take over another nation, they go by boat, then they get off from the boat, and then they burn the boat when they're made of wood, so that the troops, they can't retreat. They got to do or die, go forwards or nothing. They either go forwards and be successful, or okay, be defeated in the attempt. But the mood of the soldiers will be, no, I'm not going to be defeated until the last time. So if we have that attitude for a real goal, not for a military goal, if we can have that attitude for the real goal, then we will have determination. So we will have enthusiasm, we will have patience, but we'll have confidence. And this is listed as one of the essential 6. But enthusiasm and patience equals determination. I'm not very good at this kind of mathematics. Would somebody like to comment? Where's Paramananda today? Where's Paramananda when we need him? And by the way, have a little sympathy. I don't know what the word is, but some devotees, in order to serve the devotees, really have to do things they don't want to do. And Paramananda, you know, in order to serve the devotees, in other words, you know, he does hold these festivals and do many things. In order to have some rupees to do that, he really has to mix with a section of society like the auction house, buying things in auction, and then has to do so many things in the background. He does it quietly, but when you find out actually what he does, you say, oh my goodness, I really wouldn't want to be mixing with that. That is some kind of surrender. And don't forget, you know, think about the devotees. What was his early life from 14 or 15 years old, something very young, brahmachari, distributing books in the USSR. I mean, you've got to give it to the Lord that he engages his devotees in all kinds of ways. Hare Krishna. And Devashish Prabhu was on, which was, I think, the London Zoom before last, but one of the Zooms, he was saying, he used a British expression. Devashish Prabhu is quite British, you might have noticed. He used the expression that, oh, devotional life is not at all easy and comfortable. It's not a bed of roses. Sort of bed of roses. Our roses in Vila Govinda Ashram, or Krishna's roses, their roses in Vila Govinda Ashram, they got these giant thorns on them, which we even feel that the rose bush plays games with the devotees, because you have to be careful, especially it's a little wind. We have to be careful of our devotees, and Chada and the ladies got to be careful of their saris, because the rose bush just grabs them. But anyhow, and then we kind of thinking, well, the rose bush is conscious, and is he apologizing, or is he happy that, oh, I'm doing my dharma, I got thorns and I'm catching people. But anyway, everything has a nature. But anyhow, what I was going to say was this expression that devotional life is not a bed of roses. In other words, it's not all comfortable. But maybe devotional life is a bed of Vila Govinda Ashram roses, because it's got its spikes and it's got its softness and joy. Hare Krishna. And I'm still thinking about your question, Narottam Nitai Prabhu, but it's kind of a little difficult, isn't it? when we can think of things which are directly given to us in the scripture, and as we were quoting before in translation form, the message of Rupa Goswami, no less, in Upadesamritam, then we're quite happy. Well, say Rupa Goswami says this. Yes, okay. But when we are trying to think, is this the case or not, such as your question, then when there's no precedent, we haven't exactly heard the same thing before, we think, yes, it's got some good intention, but I haven't necessarily heard this example used by our masters directly. Yes, Narottam Prabhu, you got your hand up?
Yes, my Dandavats. I wanted to make a comment. So while we are thinking about our prayojana and abhideya, I guess this patience is in relation to sambandha, in the sense progress we make in sambandha. So if we have the prayojana that we want to become 100% Krishna conscious, or want to, our goal is to kirtaniya sadahari, like in the sense of, like, we define a prayojana, I guess we say, and then videya is the means to get there. So I think in that relation, if I'm thinking about it as a marathon of, like, long-term goal of reaching that goal, and not just like, I will just chant 100 rounds today and tomorrow I'll do nothing because I have never chanted 100 rounds before. So it's not like that. So what I'm trying to say is, we pace ourselves, but we keep the enthusiasm intact with all the services that we do, and have more of a regulated life in order to keep the enthusiasm going, but also keep the patience at a long-term basis. So that's sort of my understanding, and at least from a practical day-to-day level. But yeah, like you said, Maharaj, a lot of these things are like a little, I don't know how to describe it, but that's my understanding. Hare Krishna.
But Prabhu, yes, this is also the thinking that what we're doing, it is that journey, and we have to go day by day, even if we don't notice any particular difference. And sometimes the example is given of a ship in different ways, like a boat crossing an ocean. And I have also in my life been on a boat, crossing the seas over, some days. And when you're on a boat, actually, every day you see the sea. I mean, really, you may see a bird. Well, you do see birds, interestingly. You do see birds and various things, but you're essentially seeing the same thing every day. Now, in the modern world, of course, the boats, you don't have to row the boat, you've got an engine in. So basically, you're being patient and you're tolerating, but you're going to the destination. You're confident in the captain of the ship. You're confident that he's taking you to the place you want to go. But each day, so whether it's patience or tolerance, but we have to be patient. That each day I'm seeing the same thing, basically. But we are going on our way. And then gradually we'll find that, if we're going, from, New Zealand to Singapore or something, you're going to be going from cold, the weather's going to be cold and windy in the beginning. And then by the time you get to Singapore, you're going to be, hot, 100% humidity and 100 degrees centigrade. Well, not quite, but it's going to be different. But between the beginning of your journey and the end, you're going to only gradually feel any change. So only gradually we may notice anything, and how long is our journey is much more than from Christchurch in New Zealand to Singapore. Krishna, Krishna. And if you canoe, a long time ago, I read about one adventurer with nothing better to do, who canoed from mainland USA to Hawaii. And it was an interesting account, but he had to be, whether you call it patient or tolerant, well, tolerant and okay, whatever is patient, he had to be patient in many ways on his journey. And whatever is tolerance, he had to be tolerant many times on his journey. But then you see the material world. When he got to his destination, he'd been so beaten up by the weather and by everything. He'd lost everything in base except his life and his canoe and his paddle, and he still had this. He got to Hawaii, and when he arrived in Hawaii, he's thinking, oh, my destination. And then everywhere he went in Hawaii, like, oh, I've come, he tried to explain. And they all kicked him out, thinking he was a bum. And he'd just arrived there. And so he got a lot of disappointment when he got to his destination. And it took him quite an ordeal, had to be patient and tolerant, to get someone to actually believe he canoed from the mainland, lost everything, and he wasn't a bum, and he had all his, he hadn't, not able to shave or anything, so he must have looked like a healthy bum, no doubt, because he'd been canoeing all that time. But anyway, you see, in the material world, you have a destination and we think it's going to be wonderful. It's Hawaii. And then he gets there and he gets kicked by the environment of the ego there, that's being like rejected by everyone. Oh, no, I'm a great person. I did this. I've come from, okay. Get back in your boat and go back to the mainland then. He made it here and go home. So we need to have a proper destination, which is also most important. Hare Krishna. And what is our destination? It's the land of beauty, sweetness, charm, and love. Let us not forget. And we won't forget if we read Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada every day. Read Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is our nourishment. This is not an invented thing because we feel good to do it. No, we all need to make ourselves follow some daily program. The mind and the environment and everything can give 100 excuses every day why not to do it. But just try to find that one worthwhile excuse. This is the very life, the basis of our devotional life is wherever we are. If we're alone, if we're in a prison cell on death row, still have a daily program. And as most of you know, that really is the case. All kinds of circumstances. Oh, Sevarupa's been busy. Amanina manarina kitanya saraharihi. Immediately, Gurudev Srila Govinda Maharaj is smiling over you, Sevarupa. And Shoshi's found, did much research and found this verse in the scriptures. Just see. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Adi Leela. Then we should resort to kirtan always. Is this, where are you quoting from? Is this Srila Prabhupada's purport?
And Vat Maharaj and dear devotees, it is from Prema Dharma, our loving guardian, his creation and the spirit of his service I think it's a video from Srila Shira Maharaj.
Okay, it's good to know whose words we're reading. That's what, because we do know that the words Amanina, Manadina, Chaitanya, Saraharihi, they are Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's words. But we're reading more than that. So this is Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Shri Ram. Okay, would you kindly like to read it? Not read it? Would you like to transmit it to us?
By your grace. Guru. Amanina Manadena Kirtanya Sadahari. We should resort to Kirtan always, but our attitude should be such, Mahaprabhu recommends, Pranadapi Sunichina, Taroreva Sahishnana, Amanina Manadena, generally upwards. Our attitude will be humble, all towards high, and if we think that we are being done wrong, still also we shall take to patience, Sahishnu. Amani, under no circumstances we should work for our own position and prestige. That should not be our aim. From above, Amanina Manadena, and we shall try to respect everybody. It is all mostly connected towards the upper world, Pranadapi Sunicha, Tharorapi Sahishnu, Amani towards Vaishnava world. Our conduct will be always like that. Then only we can thrive well in our campaign. That is, slow and steady wins the race. It is a long journey, not a journey to finish within a few hours, a few days, or a few years. Try Gurudev.
Wonderful. Very, very familiar and wonderful to hear again. I mean, really, this is our life. There are so many things that we read, this is all we need. Hare Krishna. And in the meantime, Axel joined. Axel, Hare Krishna. And the Ganga Leela Devi Dasi joined. And Pavan Krishna Prabhu also joined. And on Facebook, I can't see this week. I'm sorry. I have just my little mobile phone connection. Govinda. Oh my goodness. More chat. Oh, our loving guardian, his creation sings. Premadam. Giant. Govindam Adi Purusham Tammahang Bhajam. And along, okay, I better not start. We've only got 2 minutes left. Okay, we'll save something. Well, not save something. Actually, I don't like to save something for another week. Or sometimes I come across something and I think, okay, I'll keep this. I'll keep this one for another time. And then when the other time comes, then kind of, what was it I was going to keep? So I generally find it's better to say now. Okay, so I'm going to say now, but I just make it short, that along with Upadesamritam, there are other books. It's not the only book, but it is the only book you need, but as are others. Okay, so we'll settle that. But Brahma Sanghita, we were recently hearing the glories of Brahma Sanghita from Gurudev while listening. This was listening in the ashram in Italy, where we do regularly listen to Gurudev and Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. But Srila Gurudev was talking about Brahma Sanghita. And then when we come back to look at Brahma Sanghita, to read Brahma Sanghita, it's just amazing what is there. Everything is there. And again, how the creation comes and the whole scale from 0 to infinity is given in Brahma Sanghita. And Gurudev stresses how Brahma Sanghita, when Mahaprabhu got this book, he's thinking, this is my conception. It's here in black and white. This is my teaching. And Mahaprabhu got that book very very eagerly and took it with him from South India all the way back to Puri, where the devotees copied it. Where the devotees so enthusiastically copied it. And so to revisit Brahma Samhita is extremely valuable for us. And we try to read it not just once a year, we try to go through Brahma Samhita again and again. And the Navadipta Mahatmya and the Sharanagati and all the books of Guru Maharaj and I know, but Brahma Samhita, this I'm thinking about the shorter section of our reading to try to go through each year. And Brahma Samhita is only 60 something verses, maybe 70, don't exactly remember. And it is ununderstandable. I still read it, and it's like the frog in the well example. The frog trying to understand how big is the ocean, and his only criteria for measuring distance is the width of the well that he was born in, lives in. The only thing he knows about the universe is his well. And so the frog thinks, how big is the ocean? When another frog is talking to him from, I saw the ocean. A little frog saying, how big is the ocean? Looking up. And then, is it this big, this big, this big, this big? Frogs, they can blow themselves up a little fat. And then finally he just explodes, trying to understand what is the size of the well. Sorry, Sevarupiri, I see your face at the sight of an exploding frog. Being vegetarian Hare Krishnas is not so happy. But if you're a Frenchman, maybe more happy. Hare Krishna, a traditional Frenchman. All right, dear devotees.
From Facebook, Gurudev, Dandavat Pranams from Mathura Vasini, Madhava Prabhu, and Maheshwar Didi also.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
Very welcome. And our Dandavat to you, to all of you on Zoom, to all of you who are.
And just to remind you, our last BBBC, the question from Narottam Nitai Prabhu, you already answered that. The question was that if we can read the Chaitanya Charitamrita before Srimad Bhagavatam.
Ah, okay.
Just to remind you.
All right, so there was a question, the one before last, and it came up.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, perfect. Okay, dear devotee family, happily here always. And if we can, how about this week, we all read Upadesamritam and all read Brahma Samhita. Why not? It doesn't take very long. When you're on the train going to work, coming back from work, suppose if you're driving your car, don't read the book, but you can hear it. All of these books are spoken by now. All right, all dear ones, Jai Shri Gurudev ki Jai, Jai Shri Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Jai our Rupanuga Guru Bhagavad ki Jai, and Jai to all the unlimited devotees all over the universe, and our devotees all here on Zoom, Facebook, and in the recorded version. Jais to you all. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha, kripa sindhubhya evacha, patitanam pavanebhyo, vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Upadesamritam.
Maharaj ki Jai.
Upadesamritam, Brahma Samhita, and Chinadapi Sunichana, Tarorya Vasa Hishmun. Just to remind ourselves. Nitai Gaur Premanandi, have a wonderful week. We'll see you all. Have a savorful week. Remember Krishna in all circumstances, each one. Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari.